Welcome, everyone. My name is Laraun Josie, one half of Laraun Welcome. And what my job is today, I'm hoping I can bring you value. And if I do bring you value, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, also hit that notification bell. Also, if you want to follow us on social media, go to Laraun and Sharonda on Facebook, YouTube page. Also, check out our website, LaronandSharonda.com. If you're here for the first time, definitely we welcome you. We're really excited to share this information with you. I want to talk about what's going on today. We're dealing with this great resignation, if you will, and I'm just really interested in what's going to happen because we're seeing a lot of people who are trying to get into this entrepreneur space, if you will. And it's not that easy as you can. A lot of people think they think that, I'm gonna have my own business and I'm gonna have freedom, time freedom. It doesn't happen like that. But a lot of people come into this space uh, having the idea, and so before you decide to get into this entrepreneur world, there's a few things I want to tell you to let you know. Now, I'm not saying don't do it, but you got to get rid of some of the myths. The great resignation is a real issue in America. The numbers are sobering. In 2021, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, over 47 million Americans voluntarily quit their place of employment. Now, many people realized that they wanted to be home and spend more time with their families. Work shortages were apparent, and one of my favorite restaurants, actually numerous, but one in particular, they minimized and reduced their menus due to the shortage of staff. What are people replacing their 9 to 5s with? That's the question. See, most people prefer to be their own boss. We like to say it, it's the cliche. I'm a boss. But before you make that leap into the unknown, there are a few things you need to do before becoming an entrepreneur. Now, one, be self-motivated. See, most people are not self-motivated. A lot of us are being told what to do every day, and we're willing to do that because we can lose something. We can lose our paycheck, which is going to lose the house, which is going to lose the job, and the car and everything else. But when it comes to being an entrepreneur and no one tell you what to do, that's a real challenging thing to do. See, a lot of people think when you become a entrepreneur that is just 9 to 5, or I can create my own hours. That's not true. It's for nobody. Look at the history of top entrepreneurs. Do you think Oprah worked a 9 to 5? Even though she's a billionaire, she still run businesses. Do you think she works 9 to 5? Do you think she just gets up when she wants to? The average entrepreneur who starts a business, you are everything. You are the accountant. You are the greeter. If you have a restaurant, you have to cook the food. You have to sell the food. You're the salesman. You're everything. Why do you think you're just going to work 9 to 5? See, what I was told is you work 80 hours a week to keep away from working 40 hours a week for somebody else. And also, here's the thing: there's no guarantee that your business will work. 1 out of 2 small businesses fell after the first year, and 95% of the businesses fail within the first 5 years. Additionally, you are competing in the market against business owners who are motivated to take you out of business. So you got to be a self-motivator. You got to say to yourself, I can do this. And a lot of people's not going to support you in the beginning, but you have to work hard. Now, number two, you have to feel the fear and do it anyway. See, in the beginning, when I was in school, I used to have a fear of talking in front of people, and I had to get over that quick if I wanted some good grades. And a lot of times I failed from fear. See, fear holds people back. It's always great to say a certain word. Words um, is great. You can say, hey, I wanted to be an attorney. But until you get in front of a room and this guy is about to go to jail and you have the pressure of winning this case, that takes people out. Now, in a survey commissioned by Weebly, Wake Forest research found that 1/3 of Americans are more afraid to start their own business than jump out of a plane. What triggers such a negative feeling? Are you scared of rejection? Are you scared of success? See, a lot of people are scared of success. They have to keep that up constantly. And you're not gonna now you can't work a 9 to 5 because now people are counting on you. Imagine you have a business and these people you're working with, they're counting on this business to succeed so they can pay their bills, keep their home, and feed their families. It's all on you. Think about that. I know business owners who couldn't take a salary and they had to pay their staff because they wasn't making enough income, enough profits. It's a lot of pressure. Now, Mike Tyson is one of the greatest boxers who ever walked the face of the earth. Mike Tyson knocks people out ferociously. A lot of his people he fought was bigger, stronger, faster than him. Mike Tyson was so afraid to fight, and we wouldn't know this, that he cried every time he got in that ring. Right before he got in the ring, he would cry because he didn't want to do it. The moral of this story is feel the fear and do it anyway. Your opponents may be more scared than you are. Number 3, throw away ideas that there is a perfect life balance. When you're looking at an airplane, what happens when it goes up in the air? It uses the most fuel going up in the air, getting off the ground. Once the plane gets into a certain altitude, that's when it hits cruise control. You're going to put so much time and energy in, you're not going to get paid for it, right? And hopes of one day getting a return. And so you're going to work day and night. You're going to work those 80 hours. You're going to be tired. But once you get it up in that air, that's when you can put on cruise control. That's what I would say when you get the team around you, because you need a good team, and then you can kind of take your hands off the wheel and relax. But until then, you're gonna be working day and night, and you don't even know if it's going to work. That is the true issues with entrepreneurship, and that's why a lot of people fail. They say, "Hey, this thing over here is already established. Why not get into something established?" Also, you have to learn how to sell. This is one of the most important and critical skills that you need. Now, when I first got into selling, I'm actually in a network marketing company, and I didn't know how to sell. Let alone I was scared, fearful of talking to people, and I just couldn't do it. So I would just work my job and pretend I was a pretender, because you have entrepreneurs who's in the field and you have pretenders. I pretended that I was doing the work because I was scared, and I tripped my mind saying I was being successful. At the time, I really wasn't. It wasn't until I figured out, like, I have to learn how to sell and I have to treat this as a profession. And I had to learn the skills. And once I learned the skills, how to relate and talk to people, and prospecting and qualifying my time, that's when I started having a little bit of success. There's thousands of books that you can read to becoming a better salesman and having passion, working harder, but you really have to look at that. I used to think, because I'm like, all the entertainers that we watch, they're not employees. They know how to sell. When you're looking at a movie, they have to sell the public to watch it at a particular time. And they have a time frame, because once that people stop going to the theaters, then they take it out of theaters. I heard Chris Rock say it. He says there was a lot of pressure to keep the movies that was backed by Hollywood to stay in the theaters to make the money back. Look at athletes and entertainers, and look at Drake and Jay-Z and 50 Cent. All those guys, if they have a project, they have to, the way they call getting recoups, they have to get their money back. They have to sell CDs, sell people to get on the streaming. Have to learn how to sell. But those are the guys who make the most money. That's one reason why I even got into sales, because they said what I heard is salespeople make the most money. You have doctors, lawyers, but you have salespeople. If you're going to get in the world of entrepreneurship, you're going to be selling. And don't think that you could just put your advertising out and it's supposed to do it. You have to put some groundwork in it as well. Build an audience. This is one of the most important things to do. It's no secret that content making, marketing is an effective way to grow brand awareness and recruit new customers. A lot of people, we're in this cancel culture. A lot of people who don't get canceled, they have an audience. Look at Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle has this core audience, and most society try to cancel him, but he can't be canceled because he's getting the support from his audience. There was a guy who wanted to get into comedy, and he got some advice from another comedian. He watched him. That's why I like to say you got to watch mentors. You got to watch people. You can learn a lot from that. But he watched this comedian, and the comedian gave him some great advice. So he started doing shows, and the shows was really small rooms, not a lot of people. And one key thing he did is he started getting emails. So anybody who came in, they had the option to sign their name and their email at the door. But immediately he started having an email list, which is still important to this day, even with Facebook. It's very important to get emails because now when he went back to those cities, he gave them a chance to go by sending them the email. So they knew he was in town. His following became big and big and bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, he's selling out rooms. Then he went to theaters and now he's selling out stadium. Who is this person we're talking about? Kevin Hart. Was Kevin Hart's story, and a lot of other people have that story as well. So you would want to build an audience. This is key. Get mentors. Get help. One of the best things I ever have done before, because I used to live up north. I used to live in Pittsburgh, and I moved down south. And the field, the company I was in, that I am in currently, I humble myself because I did not know. You don't know what you don't know, and I learned so much stuff from just being in the room with someone who was successful than I would ever did if I tried to figure it out or read a book. And I learned a lot, and it made me thousands of dollars from the things that I learned. So definitely get a mentor. I watch a lot of sports. Now, Mike Tyson cries when he hear his mentor Customato. Customato taught him how to fight, taught him how to be a champion. Unfortunately, he died a year before Mike Tyson won the world championship. And then after that, we know the story of downhill from there. But he became a champion and who he is today, the positive things, not the negative things, the positive things from Customato. Kobe Bryant's another one. He wanted to get in the NBA. He jumps the league, didn't play college, and Michael Jordan mentored him. And that's why he had a great, successful career. But this is one of the great steps. And if you can't get to hold of them, always can read their books. See, a lot of times they said, if you want to hide a secret, just put it in the book. We all heard that. So this is one important step I would say, definitely get a mentor. Network equals net worth. I heard 50 Cent say something one time. 50 Cent said, who you know gets you in the room. What you know determines how long you stay. Now, if you're going to start a business, I will hope prior to this, growing up, you had great relationships growing up. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to need them. Right now, I'm watching Kevin Hart. He has a show. And he was bringing all these great acts on it. He had Mark Wahlberg, Jay-Z, Chris Rock, Don Cheadle. And the reason why he can even get them on the show is because he has a relationship with all of them. All of them. And it's better to build relationships now before you start doing anything because you can always go to them, opposed to starting a business and trying to get these relationships because it's not genuine then. You should always try to build a huge network because you can always call back on them and vice versa. Not to say you need them for something, but just build the relationship. That's the most important thing you can do prior to owning the business and also in the business. You want to have great relationships. We're in a world where no one really trusts the commercials anymore. That's why people on YouTube get paid so much money because they're people who follow them. They trust them. They like them. They know them. They watch them all the time. And one thing I learned way back in the day is laughter leads to listening. You're laughing at Chris Rock enough and you see him, oh man, you're going to support everything he does. That's just the way it is. You want to get more information, go to LaraunandSharonda.com. Follow us on Facebook, Laraun and Sharonda, and we also have a group. And you're going to see a lot of us. You're going to see a lot more of this content on our channel. And with that being said, like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. And we'll see you on the next video.